April 15th, 2024, and this video is called I Like a Great Graft Union. Now this is the most classic example of them. This is a weeping cherry, and let me show you what happens if you're not on top of this. The graft union, you got to use a rootstock, and then what you're grafting on top of it, which is the weeper. Now you could tell the graft union, sometimes if they're good you won't see it, but you'll see this bulge. This is the graft union line. Below here is the species, and above it was the weeper. Can you see that right there? Now the perfect example of what happens to this guy, I'm gonna show you. Check this out. These trees are old. These gotta be probably 50 years old. But look at this one. If you don't maintain the graft union, this is what you get. This is wild. Now this is the species that's blooming. See, it's white. And can you see the weeper? What they did is the graft union overgrew. Here's the weeper. See this piece right here? Right there, boom. And you could see it right into the trunk. This is a perfect example. Check it out. This is the weeper, here's the graft union. See, it came way out to there. Actually, this is pretty good. Look at the graft union is way onto the ground as opposed to the other one. It was like 5-6 feet tall. And see the two right there? And actually, I was wrong. Here's the graft union on that one. So there was a little shoot that came out of the ground that they never pruned out. And that's why you have the two of them growing here. And that's why you lost the weeper. It's just that little baby piece right there. This is what it's supposed to be. And I'll show you on this one. Look at this right here. This is where the weeper was that died, and now the rootstock is taking over. Now let's compare the two real quick. Here's the rootstock. See, it's just that white flower, and it grows straight up. This is a busy street, so I apologize, but here's the weeper. It's one of the most beautiful ones. There's a double flowering one, but I love this tree. This is a mutation. The weep is the mutation. And I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna show you another one here. They planted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. This one looks like it died out. And here's the other one. Let's take a look at this. This one died back. Now here is the graft union. There's the weeper. It died back. The rootstock took over. So you don't have a weeping tree anymore. You just got a regular cherry. I don't think this is the fruit cherry. So there you go. I apologize for the noise. This is a busy street and there's a plane going up ahead. And I'm going to show you more examples of these graft unions. But I like a great graft union. And that's all 3 of them right there. See the difference between the weeper and the species? I love how you could see that little weeping part left. Now each year I'll try to do about a dozen grafts myself, and this is the ones that I've been doing the last couple of years. I'm going to show you some. Now this one right here, this is a variegated Zelkova. See the leaves on it? Now I only have one of them, so the reason why you might want to try it is it's actually fun to experiment with this. If you have a special tree, you might want to have a couple backups. You could do a couple of them to trade or just give away to friends. Just remember, you don't want to do patented plants, because you might not be selling them, but that's definitely a gray area where I don't know if residents can do their own. But let me show you a couple of these guys. I did a double this year. Now this one doesn't look like it's taking. Now this one definitely looks like it took, because it's actually growing the leaves out of it. Now later on I'm going to show you the rootstock here. You can see it's green. That's the rootstock. Up to here, you splice it, rubber band it, and then wax it. And later on you're going to want to prune these off, the rootstock, because I just showed you that cherry where it will take over the tree. Now this one is another Zelkova that took. My favorite tree is actually the Dawn Redwood, the golden Dawn Redwood, which has got lemon gold leaves on it. And look at this one. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. These are kind of easy. I just buy the green rootstock. There is the graft union in there. See it right there? So that took. I actually have another easy one. It's called a weeping lilac. Now this is really cool. I actually did 2 of these. See right in here, and look at they both are actually growing. Now the key is once that rootstock starts coming out, you want to take it out. It'll take over. And there is those. This one, look at, I tried the weeper here. It doesn't look like it's going to take, but if you look, there's just a tiny little bit of green in there. So you got to give them some time. Some, it depends on if you match up the cambium, those veins. If you got a really great graft union, it's going to come out, shoot out early. If not, it might struggle a little bit, but be patient. They actually might work. Now here's a graft union of the weeping lilac. Look at this. This guy took. It was from a couple years ago. But look at, I did the side on that. I'm going to show you. You could do a side graft. You can go through the top and splice it. Try different methods. Some of them work better than others. Now here's one over here. I used rootstock. Look at that green leaves. And look at the graft union right there. I did this 2 years ago. This is the one that went right down the middle. See that? Pretty nice. And what it is I actually thought this was a weeper. It might be. See how it's weeping like that? So this is a new seedling. Looks like it's gonna get red flowers, but this is interesting. I seen on it. I don't know if this is mildew or if this is another mutation within this. Look at how that looks. Doesn't that look weird? So you have to keep an eye on that, but just wanted to show you the graft union. Pretty sweet. Now I'm doing all kinds of grafts, and this one is on a golden leaved box elder maple called Kelly's Gold. And it's pretty simple. All I'm finding is just the regular species here, and that's the graft union right there. It almost blends in perfectly. Now this is actually the Kelly's Gold that I got it from, which I grafted. Can you tell and see where that graft union is? It's that little line right there. Perfect. Now here's a second Kelly's Gold. Can you spot the Graft Union? See it right there? These trees I did about maybe 15 years ago. Now this is fascinating. This used to be a weeping English oak that died. This tree must be about like maybe at least 50 years old. But it was grafted since it was a weeper. See the Graft Union? It's like the exoskeleton of the graft. Pretty wild. Pretty cool too. Alright, here's the weeping lilac that I did that graft from. And I want to show you, I did this one years ago too. There's the Graft Union. And if you look, it's suckering. Common lilac does that a lot. So in the fall, I'll dig this up, pot it up, and then try grafting on it next year. That's why I have so many of them. Now, grafting is the best way to propagate crab apples, but it is possible to root them with the little cuttings, but it's very difficult. But I want to show you something here. This is my favorite variety called Van Esseltine, and you could see why. It's a double flower. But check this out. This is a very old tree, and it's kind of falling over. It's right over here. See that? Now, I could tell you right now that it most likely was a rooted cutting, because check this out. The roots are suckering out of the ground, right? And if you follow the roots, they're growing the identical variety right here, Van Esseltine. So this is pretty cool. This is a rooted cutting, and it's very difficult, but there's proof in the pudding right there. See, there's the tree. Look at that, flower is identical. So this is a good example of a rooted cutting of a crab apple. So why do you graft? You graft because you want to propagate the material to be genetically identical. Now here's another example. This is just normal crabapple rootstock, Graft Union. This I did, I think, last year, the year before. And look at, I've got a weeping crabapple. So if I took the seed from the crabapple, the weeper, it might not be weeping. It could revert back. It could be less weeper. It could be more weeping. But it's not genetically identical. That's why you graft, because you want to propagate it to be identical. Like if you took a yellow delicious apple, took the seed off of it, it won't be a yellow delicious anymore, because it won't be a clone. That's why the cuttings, although they're difficult, that would be a clone. But you got to trick the tree into that graft. It's like the veins in your arm. If you match up that cambium, it will be successful. And then if you're successful like this one and it keeps growing, you will have propagated a genetically identical, which is called a clone, specimen. That's why we graft. All right, here's my favorite tree, the Dawn Redwood. Gold Rush. It's got gold leaves, so I grafted a ton of these guys. Look at that graft union. Green on the bottom, gold on the top. It's just starting to open. And there's the perfect graft union. Let's get close over here. See that line right there? I could hardly see it.